Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has been admitted with abdominal pain to a hospital in Florida, his wife said. It comes a day after thousands of his supporters stormed government offices in the Brazilian capital. Mr. Bolsonaro was taken to a hospital near Orlando on Monday, according to reports. The former president was stabbed in 2018 and has since struggled with abdominal pain on occasion. On Instagram on Monday, Michelle Bolsonaro confirmed that her husband was under observation due to abdominal discomfort. A source close to the family said his condition was not worrying, according to Reuters. The story was initially reported by Brazilian news outlet O Globo. Mr. Bolsonaro left Brazil for the United States about 10 days ago. He refused to take part in the handover of power to President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva last week. On Monday, Rosangela and Wellington, from São Paulo, stopped by the residence at Encore Resort at Reunion to take some photos outside where Mr. Bolsonaro has been staying. It was like visiting a touristic attraction for them. They jumped out of their car smiling for the photo opportunity, posing out front. Soon after, a man from the residence approached them speaking Portuguese, asking not to park in front of the street. But he wasn't bothered by them taking photos. The community is gated, yet a handful of reporters have been allowed to walk in through a side gate, and Brazilians are entering in their vehicles and parking near the home. Another group of 4 Brazilians have been sitting on the sidewalk outside the home for more than an hour. They haven't seen anything and aren't hoping to either. They simply want to sit and feel close to Mr. Bolsonaro, even though he is not currently at the residence. We are talking and remembering things from Brazil, one woman says. A small vase with flowers sat at her side. U.S. President Joe Biden is facing pressure from members of his party to remove Mr. Bolsonaro from the country. Bolsonaro should not be in Florida, Democratic Representative Joaquin Castro told CNN. The United States should not be a refuge for this authoritarian who has inspired domestic terrorism in Brazil. He should be sent back to Brazil. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, another Democrat in Congress, in a tweet called on the U.S. to cease granting refuge to Bolsonaro in Florida. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said on Monday that the U.S. has received no official request from the Brazilian government relating to Mr. Bolsonaro's visa. Mr. Bolsonaro was stabbed during a campaign rally in the state of Minas Gerais in September 2018. He went on to win the election later that year. In October, he narrowly lost his bid for re-election to former President Lula after a divisive campaign. Since arriving in the U.S. around 48 hours before President Lula was inaugurated, he has reportedly been residing at a property owned by a professional mixed